Most simply put, global mobility is helping talent get to the locations they are needed in. This may be in the same country or continent or across the world. Sometimes this means that we're only moving the employee. Other times it means that we're moving the entire family. Sometimes it means that we're only moving them for 3 months. Sometimes it means that we're moving them for their life. Global mobility works with a variety of partners. Externally, we're working with legal, tax, and mobility professionals. And internally, we're working with the business people team, payroll, tax, legal, and person. Being the central point of contact means that I'm asking questions to determine the feasibility of with our external partners and to set the expectations for the employee and their internal partners.
I always tell people that global mobility is a function within my company that helps to move the right people into the right roles globally. I think global mobility plays a critical role in attracting and retaining talent through facilitating rotational programs, short and long-term assignments, and permanent relocation opportunities.
It's always really difficult to answer that question. A lot of the time I say it's a mixture between being in HR, an accountant, and a lawyer, all mushed together. But the other part of me also says global mobility, it addresses the things like the compliance, the operational, the strategic aspects associated with domestic and remote working arrangements.
For me, global mobility is about looking at talent management of employees from one location to another. It is part of the talent strategy for a company. Global mobility has logistics, which is relocation, immigration, looking at the compliance, making sure that somebody is legally allowed to go to a country and work there with their families living there. But actually, for me, global mobility is also about the talent management. How do we make sure that we have the right people moving from one location to another, that they're going to be successful in their new location? And as professionals in this field, we have all the resources, the knowledge, and the experience to be able to advise the business on that. And global mobility is including the talent management part, the help with talent acquisition, and of course the logistics to move somebody from one location to another.
So when I think of global mobility, I think of getting the right people in the right places at the right time. And ultimately, global mobility should be used as a talent strategy to attract and retain diverse talent. So while mobility professionals definitely are the gatekeepers and coordinate a lot of the logistics and make sure that we're staying compliant with immigration and tax and things like that, we're also a strategic partner. So we basically advise and counsel and educate businesses and come up with creative solutions to help businesses manage and meet their goals. And we also empower employees. And the mobility program is empowering employees to advance their career. You will find that in a lot of global companies, global mobility opportunities is important for employees as it relates to their career advancement and growth.
If I say global mobility, nobody ever knows what global mobility is. So the way I summarize it is relocating expats, and usually most people understand what I mean by that.
Part of global mobility to have all these connections and interactions around the world, which is basically what we do with global mobility.
My definition of global mobility is really, the act of helping an individual or an individual and his or her family move from one country to another. I know that there is a lot of domestic relocations, but my experience is primarily cross-border movements. So it's anything and everything that entails immigration, tax, pensions, social securities, banking, housing, shipment of goods, the act of helping somebody or somebody in their family move from one location to another. And so I think it's a very middlewoman, humanistic, empathetic role that requires a lot of effective communication and active listening, because you're helping somebody through perhaps one of the most stressful yet exciting times of their lives.
I believe there are several challenges and several aspects to consider. In regards to this, I always think that the future within the global mobility lies with technology. Nowadays, the talk of the town is definitely AI. and the integration of this tool within the global mobility. Within that aspect, I am convinced that if we feed the AI with the enough information and the enough knowledge for our industry, then it will, in real life world and in everyday situations, help us from apps to.
Sure. For me, global mobility is the opportunity to partner with the business, with the HR team, with the employees, as well as my colleagues around the world to support our people philosophy and our talent management program, ensuring that we have the right people working in the right places at the right time. And secondary to that, mobility to me is taking time to invest in people personally. In a lot of professions, we really focus on the professional aspects, but when you work in the mobility space, it provides you with a great opportunity to really get to know your employees, support their families, and truly recognize the diversity that exists within your organization.